Hello guys, and thank you for watching this video. I hope that you're going to enjoy it. This video is going to be a first for my channel. For the first time, I am going to be reviewing a plug and play. This is the Jhonny5. It is a 5-inch analog freestyle drone from DarwinFPV, and it only costs $168. Yes, guys, you heard me, $168 in 2022. So I'm going to be reviewing this drone, and I'm going to show you how I have everything set up on Beta Flight. It does come with Beta Flight 4.1.1, so other version of Beta Flight. But cool thing about it, for this drone to be this cheap, it actually was pre-tuned by DarwinFPV. You have 3 different tunes on the drone. Profile 1 is a more aggressive tune. Profile 2 is much more passive tune, and Profile 3 is a stock Beta Flight PID. And what I'm going to be doing right now, I know you guys want to see flying. I'm going to start this video by taking a flight on this guy. We're going to be using Profile 2. And later on the video, I'm going to take another flight. We're going to be using Profile 1, which is the more aggressive. And I will let you know what I feel about how the drone fly. I hope that you enjoy this video, guys, and let's get to it. Alright guys, so this is me from the feature, and I need to make some comment regarding this portion of the video. First, this is the first flight I did with the Jhonny5, and this is actually the camera, the analog camera that comes with the Jhonny5. And you will see that the video feed on this camera is, in my opinion, pretty bad. And I had some more issue with this camera, and you'll find that later on the video. But this was my first flight, and I used one of my 4S. I only have about 3 4S battery left. I have switched to 6S about 2 years ago, and those batteries are pretty old. This battery just could not keep up with the drone. You see a lot of sag when I try to do any punching, so the flight was pretty much horrible because it was mostly just the battery sagging. Another reason I am making those comments right now is that I had an SD card which had some of the sound that I recorded for the video just die on me. So I lost some of my sound for this video. That's why you see throughout the video that the sound keep changing, because I had to use some backup way in order to get the sound. I had to work pretty hard for this video. I didn't want to restart the whole thing or process again. This is going to be a pretty long video compared to all my other video. I'm gonna put a timestamp, so if you want to, you can just jump to the section that interests you. Thank you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Alright guys, so let me tell you what I've done. We're gonna try again. Hopefully this will be a better Maiden Flight. I have swapped the camera that came with the drone, because the camera only have a 16:9 resolution. I tried to switch it to 4:3. There is no 4:3, and that's fine because I didn't like the camera anyway. And I also scaled down my throttle to 77%, so that should give me about 1850 kV on those motors, because they are 2400 kV. So let's see the second try to our Maiden Flight gonna go. So guys, of course, now new camera look pretty good, but I got a standoff on my field of view. But that's fine. Sun went down. Okay. A little bit of pop wash right there. Okay. So profile 2, not bad at all. Ooh. Seem to be flying pretty good with 6S. It's not bad at all. Huh. I mean, it is flying good. Very minimum pop wash. There do a couple. Huh. That is a good tune. Very little pop wash. It's flat pretty good. Huh. What? Well, guys, I have nothing negative to say about this drone. You know what I realized though? I think my Cardex camera may be in 16:9 also. But that's the thing, it does not bother me with this camera. Where with the other one it just didn't feel right. Well, this is, I mean, this is a great little quad, I have to say though. Wow. I really like this tune on profile too. I don't even know if I need to try the other profile because it is flying pretty good. Wow, very little pop wash. Let me go ahead and land, and we're gonna go for, wow, very little pop wash. Let me land because I'm killing my battery now. We're gonna go in a deep dive into the review. I'll let you know what I think of the quad. Alright guys, let's see what $168 gets you with DARWIN. Let's see here. Do we have a couple pops? And those are hurricane pops. Oh, that's perfect. I do like hurricane pops. And those are wave blue 2L2R. Got a little bag of goodies. I'm saying we have the antenna. We have a GoPro mount, some zip tie that's come with a little battery strap, and we got the drone itself. By the way, you do have some sticker if you like stickers, and we also have a manual. Let's get a closer look on the quad itself. And I have to say, first impression, it actually look pretty decent. Try to check the frame. A little bit of bends, but nothing excessive. Look like they have antenna mounts for either R9 or Crossfire. I wish they give you an option for smaller antenna for Express LRS, but I'm not seeing this in here. Carbon does look to be pretty decent. Of course, I'm not a carbon expert, but I think I build enough drone to kind of tell if I got a sketchy carbon, and this look pretty good. And I believe it is a 240 wheelbase. Let us get some measurements. According to my tool, the arms are saying 5.4, 5.3. Top plate is, I say 2mm, I'm getting 1.9. Bottom plate, I'm getting 2.2. You do have some skid. Those are 3D printed. The motor are 2207, 2400 kV. Look like that's where they kind of chipping up is on the motor. those magnets feel pretty loose. Motor look like old style motor. I say almost like 2018 motors. I mean, they are very loose. And by looking at it, it look like the belt, because you do have a little screw here. Look like the belt and the shaft are one piece, and that's something company will do sometime to cut down on cost. The drone itself look pretty good, but those motors are pretty sketchy. We will see how they perform. We have a little battery mat on top, that is nice, and a XT60 sticking from the back. And we got an antenna on the back also. Let me slap in the antenna, and it looks like they have each shrimp around it. That's nice. Oh, that's something I may start doing with my drone. It makes it much easier to grab and to put in on your drone. So now looking at the manual, I have to say that I'm pretty impressed by the flight controller that comes with this guy. First of all, it does clearly show you where you need to go in order to find information about how to connect your receiver. You do have information about crossfire, and look like we're going to be using TX and RX2. Negative, I would say, about this flight controller, it does come with a JXTX connector, and there is pretty much one connector for everything you may need except for your receiver. The connector they have is a 3-pin connector for the FreeSky receiver. There is now a 4-pin connector for the Express LRS, which this is what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to have to take the flight controller completely out and flip it on the other side in order to get access to those pads. Those are the ones I'm going to need to connect my receiver. That is, you got your 4.5 volt. That's the one you need in order to get power to your receiver when you plug in your USB. And of course, you got all the other pad I'm gonna be using for my receiver. I got TX1 and TX2. I may actually end up using TX1 and RX1. It does have a Bluetooth. You can see the Bluetooth antenna, so you can connect it to SpeedyB, and all the specifications on this thing are pretty amazing. You do have a Bluetooth. It does have a MPU 6000. You do have a barometer, BMP 280, pretty good barometer. And also you do have a SD card for some of you guys that like black box. You can put an SD card and get your black box directly from your SD card. It does a 5 UART. Very impressive for F4. Usually F4 don't have that many UARTs. You do have I2C, and more likely, since it's a Maytech F405, you should have a I9 target, since we do have an I2C. As far as big goes, you do have 2 BC, you got a 5 volt, 2 amp, and that should be enough to pretty much power up your receiver and your GPS module if for some reason you want to have a GPS module on this guy. And you also have another BEC that is a 10 volt 2 amps, so that's a total of 20 watts, and that'd be perfect if for some reason you want to switch it from analog to either HD0 or Voxel Avatar or DJI. And you got another one that is a 3.3 volt with a max of 20 milliamp. And as far for ESC goes, we're using a BLLES ESC. It is a 50 amp ESC with a max of 60. So take a closer look at the VTX. Look like it is a DARWIN VTX. It is a 800 milliwatt VTX for the channel, very standard. And looking at the connector, we do have the red one for your positive, black for your negative. The yellow one is more likely to be video in or video out if you're talking about your flight controller. We do have one more extra cable, so that should be a smart audio. That is very nice. Does have a MXCX connector, and that's pretty much it, but it is more likely an off-brand VTX. I've seen a lot of VTX with this similar shape. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the VTX out in order to put in my receiver. It is a plug and play, so it does not come with a receiver, so you need to put in your own receiver. So drone is all back together. I added the GoPro mount. My receiver is right here in the back. I also added a zip tie to keep my XT60 cable in place, and that also serves as a tension reducer in case of a crash. It keeps my battery from pulling on the cable and hopefully not ripping the cable out of the ESC. Alright guys, so I have a confession to make. I'm an idiot. I did say earlier that the camera that comes with the Jhonny5 is only 16:9. I was completely wrong. Yeah, completely wrong. It turned out that I have my Orca set up to be 16:9. So when I put the new camera, and I know it was a 4:3 camera, but since my goggle was set up to be 16:9, it was giving me a 16:9 image. So the camera that comes with the Jhonny5 is more likely a 4:3, but the video, the image still suck. And I'm a complete idiot because I have my Orca set up as 16:9. I switched them to 4:9, so now I should be getting a 16:9 video feed on the camera or on the FPV feed. Now, okay. See guys, I had those Orca for over a year. I bought them soon as they came out. Does that mean I've been flying this thing on 16:9 the whole time? Wow, I'll be damned. Alright guys, now we're gonna go for a second flight, and this is with profile 1. It's gonna be a little more aggressive, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully that's go fine with the 6S. Okay, hopefully it doesn't fly to the moon. Okay. Okay, I don't know if it's placebo effect, but the drones feel a little more sharper. I don't know guys, you tell me if you think it's different. I don't want to be like feeling a placebo effect, because the drone definitively feel sharper to me. Oh yeah, feel a little more responsive with the aggressive tone, which is expected. Guys, this thing fly good for a cheap kit. He fly good. I'm killing my batteries. Maybe time to change buy a new set of batteries. I have those batteries for a little while now, and they are Ovonix batteries, and they've been pretty good. This is a good drone, guys. For 168 bucks. And both tunes actually work pretty good. Profile 1 is a little more aggressive. Profile 2 still flew pretty good too. Wow. You know, that kind of pissed me off, because here I am spending 360 bucks, 400 bucks, 500 bucks to build a quad, and DarwinFPV just show up and put a plug and fly drone for 168 bucks, and it flied this good. with those models that are based, I would say, are very sketchy. But somehow it fly great. The tune is good. No pop wash, guys. If any, is very little pop wash. Look. Oh my god, this is a good quad. I can't believe it. Very minimal pop wash. Whoever tuned this drone did a pretty good job. Golly. And the VTX is not too bad. I got it set up at 800 milliwatts. Okay, let me land. I'm literally killing my battery now. Wow. Okay. Jhonny5, guys. This is a pretty good quad, guys. It is pretty good. Now we are coming up at the end of the video. And the question most people should be asking is, should you buy this drone? So I want to show you one thing. This is one of my drone, and I hired this guy for over a year. And into the money, if I decide to build this drone again, I did the math, it's gonna be about 365 bucks. And I can tell you that as far as flying goes, they pretty much fly the same. There is no difference. Twice the price, fly the same. So, in my opinion, if you have the money, 468 bucks, this is a steal. It still have some issues. I did swap the camera because I didn't like the image of the camera, but that may be just a setting issue. And if you need to set up your camera, of course, you're gonna need one of those guys. It does not come with the drone. The motor are pretty good in flight, but they are pretty sketchy. So I say more likely this may be the first one to go on this drone. The flight controller, VTX, and ESC look pretty decent. So in my opinion, for the price of 168 bucks, this is a steal. I flew with my GoPro 8 with a 1000 milliamp 6S battery, and the weight for the Flight was about 696. So it is a pretty good flight weight. And you see, flying guys, the weight of the GoPro 8 didn't bother it. So yeah, you better get it before they run out. So far, the only place I've seen being sold is Power Drone. That's where I got mine from. I bought them myself. I don't have any link or anything for that. I just want to bring you guys this little drone. If you want to go buy it, go to Power Drone. I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.